In this video, I'll be covering the features of the Glycine Combat Sub 42. This specific reference model is the GL0083, but all that really means is that we've got the field dial with a NATO strap. Now, this isn't the factory NATO strap because that one sucks and I replaced it, but otherwise the watch is unchanged here. So this is a really popular entry-level Swiss dive watch, and I can see why. We've got a great movement, great specs, and just a generally very wearable size. So 42 millimeter case diameter, 49.5 from lug to lug, so it actually wears pretty well on the wrist. 22 millimeter lug diameter, which I appreciate that for ease of finding straps. And then the thickness is only 10.6 from the case back to the top of the sapphire crystal. This means that even on a NATO, this watch wears very thin. It gives it a classic feel due to how thin it is, where it's not jutting off your wrist 13.5, 14, 15 millimeters like a lot of dive watches are. We've got 200 meters of water resistance with a screw-down crown. Very easy to use crown here too. And the movement inside of the watch is a Glycine 224. Now, if you've never heard of the GL224, that's because it doesn't really exist. It's actually just a Sellita SW200 that Glycine throws in the watch and changes the name of. The earlier models of this prior to 2021 used ETA 2824s. However, those two movements are effectively the same. The Sellita, from my understanding, is a little bit more inexpensive for companies to purchase. More inexpensive? Less expensive. For companies to purchase, but it's effectively the same movement. We have a higher beat rate of 28,880 beats per hour, which means we get a smoother sweep of the second hand there, which I really dig. Quoted accuracy is about plus or minus 15 to 30 seconds a day, but mine's been running about within 7 seconds a day, and I'll take that for a watch that cost me used $210. Something that's really nice for it. This being a dive watch, but also a field-inspired watch, we do have features from both. So, of course, the dial there is very much a field watch. We have 24-hour marker indices, which is nice. We've got minute markers for every single minute there, which is great if you're trying to time things. And then, of course, we have the timing bezel. This timing bezel is a 60-click unidirectional bezel. Very easy to use. Aluminum insert in the steel bezel, and, of course, a stainless steel construction for the rest of the watch. One feature I do like is the extrusion there at the top of the bezel. Makes it very easy to grab onto and twist the bezel. Now, one thing that's not great is the lume. So we'll kill the lights. Now, on video it might look better than it does in person, but one of the issues is that the lume does not last very long. It is Swiss Super Luminova lume, which is quality lume, but I'm guessing that they didn't apply that many layers of paint to it, just purely to the fact that it only lasts about 30 to 40 minutes with optimal UV light hitting the watch. So it is usable while it's there, there just ain't a ton of it. Again, this is just a very inexpensive, popular budget Swiss watch. For the money, you get a shitload of value for what's offered here. Something that is hard to compare it to when you look at comparable Seikos and Citizens. Yeah, those companies have history, but as does Glycine. And from my understanding, part of why these watches dropped in price is that when Invicta bought Glycine in 2016, that overall size of company buying them made it easy for Glycine to start selling watches a little bit cheaper. I'm sure that they're cutting costs elsewhere with manufacturing, or, you know, this watch is Swiss made, but Swiss made only means 60% of the cost in Switzerland, so maybe they're hiring sweatshops in Southeast Asia to help assemble these damn things. But you get a Swiss movement, you get great accuracy, 200 meters of water resistance, and just a very attractive watch, one that wears well, is durable, one that I can't complain about. So this is part of my full written review for the watch, which I'll link down below. But for the money, it's hard to beat this Glycine Combat Sub, especially on the used market where they're routinely $200 to $300. So thank you for watching and take care.